So, Abhitan, there are many other profiles, of students which we have in our course. One of the most common one is consultants.
Alright.
Okay. So, of course, there are different categories of consultants also. I want you to throw some light on those. And how is this course going to benefit a consultant? Like I just received a query a while ago. This person is acting as a business consultant for Genpact.
Okay.
This is a well-known company, we all know about it. Genpact in Kolkata. So, and this person wants to take up the course. But at the same time is curious how this course is going to add to this profile.
Right. So a consultant could be involved in a whole lot of things, right? And the way this course helps the consultant is in multiple ways. Okay. For example, a lot of consultants provide business advisory services, like how should you start your business, how should you structure it, okay, for which kinds of ventures should you be having an LLP, or there would be a consultant who will advise you on joint ventures and collaborations. Okay. Then there are consultants who actually just advise you on raising investment, okay, negotiating investment terms, preparing your documentation in order so that an investor will be able to value your company appropriately and offer you a term sheet. Okay. So there are consultants who work on those areas. There will be other consultants who may help you with negotiation strategy. Okay. So there is a whole spectrum of things. Then there are consultants who help businesses in submitting tenders. Okay. So in applying for government tenders. So there are IT consultants, of course. So there is this whole range of activities for which the course can help a consultant.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, that's.
Can you be more specific? I mean, just some situational examples will be more helpful.
Right.
I agree with the fact that these are the different profiles of people, and how this course is going to be helpful. But if you can just take up one scenario, like for this person, business consultant is a very
true. That's a generic category.
That's a very generic category.
Yeah.
But after taking up this course, how is that person going to perform better in providing his service?
So imagine the person is actually helping. He actually helps startups with negotiating investment agreements.
Okay.
Okay. Or let's take that example. Okay. So he knows some of the terms, right? He knows that, he knows some 5 or 6 crucial terms that an entrepreneur should negotiate. Okay. He takes this course. Okay. Now he understands that, this startup actually has 3 or 4 possible product lines.
Right.
Okay. Should it hold all these product lines in the same company? Or should it divide this company into different entities and raise the funds only for one company? Okay. So it can actually isolate the other companies and prevent the investment from all these other lines of business. So these will be protected from the investment, and the entrepreneur will be able to use his companies in whichever way he wants. Okay, so this is like a kind of strategic advice. Initially, he was just advising on negotiation, and now suddenly he is given advice on strategy like this. Okay. Or there could be a consultant who just does an IP valuation of the business. And over and above that, because he has read a lot about the monetization techniques that we are talking about in this course, he can say that, sell off one stream of IP, license the other one, and enter into a collaboration with a strategic partner. A lot of consultants add value through their networks. Because they have a great network, how they are able to connect people, right? But how will they add value? So this course will enable them to suggest these solutions. For example, they could say that, enter into a collaboration with this other company that I know.
Okay,
and I will help you to actually get the deal through. So he will be able to say how to structure that deal. That's how a consultant adds value.
Alright, I have another query for you, more situational.
Okay.
HR consultant.
So HR consultants have a whole lot of work to do, I think, on their heads. They have to ensure that organizations are compliant with all the labor laws. They have to ensure company policies are in tune, right?
Right.
So labor laws have never been presented in a systematic manner.
Yes.
You have either textbooks or you have very random checklists that you will be getting, and you do not know whether it's correct or not. There are 50 filings required. You miss out on one in your call.
Just to interrupt you, is it easy to find the labor laws of each state?
Extremely difficult. Each state has different labor laws, and the worst part is that most HR consultants are not aware of the system of how the system works.
So this will be the most beneficial thing for them in their profile.
In fact, yeah. So they will be able to systematically understand that what kinds of businesses are required to comply with which kind of labor laws.
Okay.
First, and then we have also a list of compliance requirements for each kind of labor. Okay. Apart from that, now there is a lot of internal policies that are required, and as businesses are growing complex, especially with large organizations, okay, which could have maybe 20 or 30 policies. Apart from an employment contract which they offer their employees, they must also comply. The employees must comply with a number of other policies. Okay, there could be a media communications policy. It's a very simple question. See, if a Times of India reporter would contact an employee working in the technical department who issues a statement on behalf of a company, what will happen to the company's reputation? It is a risky thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so there has to be a policy governing what this employee can divulge to the media. Right. So HR consultants have to actually think of these things: online reputation management, media communication, corporate communications. All these kind of things have to be thought of. Sexual harassment policies, we are even giving them templates of these policies in the course. Okay. So these are the things that HR consultants have to think about.
Okay, great. Okay, let's move on to the CA and CS part now.
All right.
Yeah.
So
chartered accountants and company secretaries.
Right.
How is this course contributing to them?
Okay, we have a number of CA and CS, practicing CAs and CS, and also students who are pursuing either the CA degree or the CA qualification or the CS qualification. So the reason, I'll take it one by one. So for accountants, they have great knowledge of bookkeeping, maybe a little bit of auditing, yeah, and how tax law applies. Okay, so how to.
Sorry, to cut you short. Is it okay to combine CA with BS? Business administration students for majoring in accounts, or
we could do that, yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So any BCom student who's specializing in accounts, or there are specialized accounting degrees such as bachelor's in accounting and finance, I'll treat these on par with the CA students.
Okay, all right.
So these people will have some level of expertise in analyzing accounts. Some of them will know how tax works.
Right.
Okay. So what kind of income, how tax law applies to the financials of a company. However, you will see that a lot of chartered accountants today there is scope for chartered accountants to provide value in a lot of other ways. Okay, they could help a business in raising investment. They could give strategic advice.
Okay.
They have been doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
All of these are not necessarily legal functions.
All right.
Okay. Of course, giving an advisory opinion is, but what they are doing is actually helping a business. It's a business consultancy service that these guys are providing.
Right.
Okay, so they may help in negotiation. They may help in some kind of compliance. A business has raised foreign investment and we need to make a filing. So there is no requirement that the filing needs to be made by a lawyer, right? Or there may be a certificate that a chartered accountant has to give. But if he has only studied the CA course, he's not going to know foreign exchange laws and how CAs can be useful in foreign exchange compliance. Okay, so this is how this course will be helping them in building these additional skill sets.
Okay.
So apart from giving value as auditors or in just cleaning up the books of accounts of the company, they can add value in other ways. Okay. For company secretaries too, the function, the benefits are similar. Now, for a company secretary, he has some level of accounts. He has a great deal of knowledge about board resolutions and how a company operates on a day-to-day basis.
Okay.
But it's limited to that. He knows a little bit about labor laws, but intellectual property law, how to monetize IP, how to protect IP, registration, how to actually file a patent application or a trademark application.
All that is missing.
All that is missing.
I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I see most of our students that I have interacted with, they're either doing their CS and want to pursue an LLB degree, a 3-year LLB, or they're already doing their LLB and they're pursuing CS on the side, because somewhere they're looking for a combination.
True. They're looking for a combination, and the problem they're facing with is that even with that combination, they're not able to understand practical.
That's when they're taking up the course.
That's when they're taking up the course. That's true. So there's intellectual property, government contracts. Okay, we have a lot of sectoral. We have explanation of sectoral laws also, like real estate, or how the mutual fund industry works, how insurance works. These kind of things, CS or a CS student would not know. Okay, and practicing company secretaries who sort of try to diversify, or chartered accountants who want to diversify, they acquire these skill sets by experience. Okay, which takes a lot of time. Here we are teaching all this systematically, so somebody has this sense of direction beforehand as to the ways in which he can actually improve his skill sets going forward.
Okay. So let us go forward. And let's take the next category of our student base, media people and journalists. You know, a lot of them have taken keen interest, for which even we were surprised. Of course, we always wanted them. We always want our media and our journalists to have a legal knowledge, because you know they are how do I say, conveying what is happening either in the corporate world or in the real life situations or in the social world. They're bringing it to the society. So for them to understand what is right and what is not right as per the law is extremely crucial.
So, so media could relate. You could be covering different beats for the media, right? There are certain areas which are extremely, from where we have seen keen interest from journalists. Okay, whether it's corporate, okay, somebody who's covering companies, or covering banks, covering regulators. You know, where let's say you're covering competition. This is a regulated area. You're covering infrastructure. You're covering real estate. So these are the areas from where you see journalists who are going to be directly interested. Also, journalists covering, you know, certain legal developments. Sometimes a journalist who's a lot of times they have a law degree, but even at other times, you know, a lot of you will see journalists covering cases, judgments, but they may not have a law degree. So they still want to understand this. Let's say a journalist is covering SEBI. Okay, so he will want to take this course up. He may have had a finance and a journalism degree. Okay, and he started covering SEBI judgments. So
otherwise, based on my interaction with the journalists, I have seen that, of course, even if they are working in a particular area, they need to go and consult an expert, an industry expert, so that that person can convert and, you know, convert all these jargons into a language in which that person can understand.
So they keep taking quotes from industry experts, but they also need to understand what they're writing.
You have been quoted, no?
Yeah, that happened. That happened a couple of times in Economic Times and once in Business World. Yeah. So what happens is that journalists need help to make sense of what they're covering. They know what they're covering is breakthrough, but they do not understand how exactly the angle they should put it, okay, or how to justify or explain that angle. So in that case, the course knowledge of business law will help. And understanding of the ground realities.
That's how just What about the creative industry?
So the creative industry has.
They even have a workshop, you know, toolkit for the creative industry. And they've also conducted a couple of workshops. But ultimately, it all comes down to the course. If anyone wants to understand everything in detail, so how is it going to benefit them?
Creative professionals have a lot of interest in intellectual property because what they're creating.
Let's define creative industry first.
So you have designers, you know, graphic designers, animators, people creating videos. Okay, anything where, you know, maybe even a printer. Okay, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about people who are doing editing, creating their own videos also. Sometimes there are marketers who are doing some kind of creative work. Okay, designing posters. Okay, so sometimes there are user experience professionals also. So these people want to protect what they have created, and all of that relates to intellectual property. You know, they need copyright or trademark protection. Okay, so that's the first point of interest for them. How can they actually ensure that their copyright is protected? And they keep entering into contracts, you know, freelancing contracts or other kinds of contracts.
Because this is the most unstructured industry.
This is a very unstructured industry.
So there is no standard. Most of the people are freelancers, so they're working as a team. You know, 2 or 3 people will pair up and they will start something.
And they don't know how to go about negotiating with organizations. So when they enter into these contracts, they need to understand how intellectual property, how payment terms, and how these things will work. Money recovery is a big issue for them. Organizations don't pay them on time. So they need to understand what terms to include in their contract or in their invoice to ensure that they're paid on time.
So at least we are saying that if they take up this course,
they're going to learn all this.
They're going to learn all these, right?
Yeah, and then information technology, of course, because, you know, if let's say you have you have actually, you know, a bunch of creative people who have actually had a video sharing site. They have put up their videos on the internet. Okay, how can they actually protect them? Or what's the information technology component of it? Okay, is there an interface? So sometimes this is something they're very interested in.
And this is one part I didn't get. How is information technology?
So in the creative industry, they want to understand how. They want to just understand how the latest developments work, you know, the terms of service, privacy policies, okay, how copying will work. Okay, so if they have put up they have put up their own website. A lot of times they showcase their own work.
Right.
So they might want to put in a legal document there.
Okay.
Protecting, or how can they assert their own copyright there?
So this is not intellectual property.
This is a mix of both. Okay. Say you want a freelancing job. Okay. How does the freelancer contract work? Okay. So these kind of things are there. And I'll give you an example how information technology merges with IT. Right? So there is a creative professional who has put his work up, a demo on many websites. Somebody else has copied it and is offering a similar service at a cheaper price. Okay, but he has copied all the work that this person has done, and he has copied it on the internet.
Okay.
What can this creative guy do to prevent this? He needs this copied work taken off the internet.
All right.
Okay, how does he do that? So these are the kind of things you have to. Okay. So there are strategies to actually get this.
Yeah, I'm sure there are many more issues that will be tackled. But
so, for example, there are many times you will see, when you go on YouTube and check a video, it will say that this video has been taken off due to either an order of the High Court or due to an objection.
Right.
Okay. So this is where information technology.
Because those people knew the laws.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right. Okay. Let's move on to. I think we've already covered the accounting people.
Yeah.
Unless you have something more to say for that.
No. That's good.
Okay, how about economics? We have many people who are doing their BA in economics or MA in economics, or who are also practicing as in companies as that. How is it contributing? See, it's always for anyone out there, if at any part of the segment or for any profile, if they want to be connected to those existing students, we are happy to do that. But it's always good to hear from our end what we intended as their benefit. So how is it going to contribute to them?
So it depends on their career aspirations, career goals. So a lot of BA students and economics students also, they want to they're interested in working at corporate jobs.
Can I combine commerce here, or is it different?
You can combine commerce here. Although there will be a little difference in the sense that BA students or economic students may not have a very good knowledge of accounts. That's the only difference. Okay, but otherwise, a lot of them want to work in companies or they want to pursue an MBA.
Okay.
So we've already covered how this course will actually help you in differentiating your skills, either when you're doing an MBA or even after completing an MBA when you're actually you are competing against your batchmates, right, to get a job, to get a better job.
Right.
So you need to be able to demonstrate some unique skills which give you an edge.
Yeah, but how does it correlate? So for a person who is studying economics, okay, yeah, definitely having an additional skill helps. But their skill has to combine somewhere with his existing knowledge. How does it combine with an?
So a person who is studying economics and wants to work in a company will be interested in in things like money, how money is working, right? How the company is operating, generating money, sources of revenue, marketing. These, when you are actually working in the industry, these are the things that an economics graduate will also be looking at.
How about policies at high level?
If he's working
FDI is one of the things that might interest that.
Yeah, foreign investment will definitely interest somebody who's working on economics.
SEBI, how SEBI functions will interest, of course, government compliance.
Government compliance requirements,
Yes, these things.
So this will happen. This will be of interest to them if they're working on policy-related matters. They want to understand what's happening, how foreign investment works.
Right.
For a particular study they are doing in economics, okay? Or while working as a policy analyst. In that case, this is going to be extremely important because if they're working for a commercial policy making organization, for a policy making organization on this side, not on the human rights or public side, but more on what kind of policy should be made for businesses. Okay. What should the banking policy of the company look like? Or you could just be writing a research paper on foreign investment. Okay, in India, and you will want to know how foreign investment actually works. Okay. So these are the little benefits that the course has. Of course, the reason why you would want to take the course is because of the overall package and how it adds up. Right. Not because of a little benefit here and there. But these are the ways it additionally helps all these enthusiasts.
Okay, great. Let's take the heaviest one.
Which one is that?
We've got many bureaucrats as part of our student base.
True.
The civil servants, what we call them. They are taking interest. They are enrolled in the course. They are learning, and they're following up. Yes. It's not just that.
And they're giving their tests on time.
They're giving their tests on time, even though they're not interested in the diploma, but they're giving their tests on time, which says a lot about how much involved they are in the course. And every time I get a feedback from them, it has been very, it's been very constructive, which is just amazing at my end to hear.
Yeah.
But once again, how is this course contributing?
So there are a couple of ways in which this can help civil servants. Okay, for civil servants, one thing is that they have a public interface, right? They have an interface with, and this public interface a lot of times means interface with business.
Right.
Okay, so if they have an interface with business in any case, they want to understand how business works.
Right.
Okay, so say you're working for the Ministry of Highways. Okay, you might want to understand how infrastructure law works. Not only that, but you will also want to understand how companies are structured, how infrastructure companies are structured, what kind of loans are, how does a loan document work? Okay, because infrastructure finance is an entirely separate area by itself.
Okay.
But it is similar to ordinary financing also, right? So if this person wants to understand how infrastructure financing will work, he needs to first understand how finance works, how loans work.
Okay.
Okay, because he has been involved in making policy or dealing with companies which are there related to dealing with companies involved in projects for the government and things like that. So there is some company making a port, okay, or building a road.
Okay.
So Ministry of Transport or Highways would be building a road.
Right.
Okay. So then he wants to understand, okay, how does this company take loans? How does it take investment? What's the meaning of the fact that when a government actually is partnering with the company in a public-private partnership? What does that mean? Okay, how does that work? We have a chapter that explains public-private
partnership. Yeah, I remember reading that.
Yeah. That's how this helps civil servants, okay, in directly performing their jobs. And the other way is that once civil servants retire, sometimes they want to they are in big demand from the private organizations because of this expertise they have developed.
Okay.
So if they have these skill sets, they use these to actually leverage the skills they already have.
Okay.
So somebody who has who has worked with SEBI, for example, and he wants to become a consultant after retiring.
Right.
Okay, then he will, if he knows government procurement law as well, then he will also help the company with that, in submitting tenders.
Okay.
Apart from giving securities law advice to very niche companies. Okay, so he broadens his base. Okay, or he can help in a number of ways like that. So there would be, just imagine a civil servant, who's been working on, he's just been working on the policy side. Because of his insights, now, he wants to retire and become an investment. He wants to give investment and securities law advice. If he has learned that in this course, he can actually start that.
Yeah, because he has the experience and then the right level of skill that is coming with it, for reference.
Or he wants to become an arbitrator or help in negotiation, negotiating commercial contracts. Okay, with or negotiating or actually getting deals with the government.
Okay.
Okay, so if he has learned this kind of law, he knows how different kinds of models work, how non-profit model works, then he can actually help the organization.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot. See, we have tried to cover as many profiles of people as possible from our student base. But in any case, by chance, if your profile was not covered here, please write me an email. My email address is pallavi@ipleaders.in. It's already there in the inbox if you're watching this webinar. And my number is 095826300056. And give us a call. I'll be happy to connect you with Abhyuday or whoever is required to address your queries. And let us try and figure out how this course can contribute to your profile as well. For now,
sure. Feel free to call Pallavi or write to us. We'll get you in touch with me, Ramanuj, or any other expert.
Or even our existing students.
Or our existing students.
Yes. Thank you so much. And
thanks, guys.
Please don't forget to try the demo version of the course. The link is right there in the email. Thank you.
So it's startup.nhs.edu/register.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.